And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and more importantly, the theme of the stream, that rhymed, whatever, the theme of the stream, our goodbye to the Switch 1. Yeah, I kind of thought of this format as I was going. Let me be clear, I thought all day about what game I wanted to play. Also, top of the morning, Cess. Happy Tuesday. It is... well, it's not really the Lord's Day. That's Saturday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's Spaghetti Tuesday. It's Get a Bag Tuesday. So top of the morning. How are we today, Cess? But I thought about what game would be a fitting end to the Switch 1 era, and it came down to 3 games for me. Those games were this one, in no particular order, this one, Breath of the Wild, and Pokemon Legends Arceus. Not in it for any particular, like, you know, it's like, those are the 3 that I thought, those are the ones I want to stream that would make the most sense to stream. Legends, because it's a good way, it's not going to have any impact on my Switch 2, like, we're trying to say goodbye to the Switch 1 here. It's a Switch 1 game, it's not going to be on Switch 2 at all, really. But I decided against it because I did not want to... I just didn't want to shiny hunt, and that's really all I got left. I just didn't feel like shiny hunting. I agree, Cess, to an extent. For me, though, the number 1 right decision was Breath of the Wild. Like, that was where I started my Switch journey. It is the only game that's been made in the past 20 years that is in my top 5 games of all time list, and it's one of 2 to make the, if I remember correctly, the top 10 games of all time list. So it's such an important game to me, but really, you know, it just didn't feel like, you know, like I want to be, I'm in a competitive mood. That, and, again, we would have just been hunting Korok seeds. And I kind of thought of this format, and now that I think about it, Breath of the Wild would have been better for this format. Anti-guy all the way. Breath of the Wild would have been better for this format because it's more relaxed and it allows me to talk more. I literally thought of it after I hit the go live button. I'm like, I should just have... oh, fuck. No, 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 I wanted Moo Moo Meadows! No, I'm not leaving the group because I picked it. Ass cheeks. Anyway. I decided to more or less... unless, you know, other people want to go back and forth on some other stuff here. I want to reflect on my Switch 1 journey. We got Moo Moo Meadows anyway, praise the Lord. That is the plan. I want to reflect on my journey, and I have my entire collection of physical games right next to me. I'll do my best to remember the non-physical ones. If not, I'll just, you know, exit the game and go look at them quick. We'll start from the bottom up. Because we already know what my favorite games are. I've raved about them enough. And I guess I've kind of complained about the ones I don't like enough, too. But... yeah, like, it feels better to go from the bottom up, you know? And I have my Switch games sorted like that on my shelf, so all I had to do was just, you know, just pull them off and put them next to me so I could see them clearly. Let's see if I can try to remember the online ones first now that I'm thinking about it, like my e-store purchases specifically. I'll give a special shout out to one, first of all, even though it was kind of a lazy port in most people's minds. You have no idea how happy it makes me that I was able to play Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy on the go. You have no idea. Of course, we ended up getting 64 at a later date anyway on Switch Online. That's probably why they made it a limited edition, so they could sell these games in the future to us and not give us access to them regularly. Ass cheeks. But that was a godsend, and the time when I had a shitty roommate, I know people kind of clown on the whole, just like, why do they put the, a section where you can just listen to the music? That's dumb. Well, I had a shitty roommate who would never turn down his fucking alarm or stop making noise, so the only way I could sleep was by blasting Dire Dire Docks on my television. So I want to give a shout out to that game. Third place, good. Next up, weird one. I don't like the Animal Crossing formula, not because I think it's bad, because it's just not my style, but as we all know, COVID happens. I want to give a special shout out to that game. It was my 7th most played game on the console. And I did one of the more fun things I ever did, despite not really liking the formula, and that was making islands. That was Paper Mario themed. I got the inspiration from someone who made their island themed off of X-Not Fortress from TTYD. I just did the entire Paper Mario 64 map, and it turned out great. So I'll give a shout out to that game. It was there when I needed it most, and by that I mean my 3 days of unemployment before I got called back to work and spent $60 on it. But, you know, still dabbled in it here and there. Tetris 99. Man, what a special experience that game was. I love Tetris 99. It's like, I don't know, it's just super chaotic, and it's my kind of competitive. It's just awesome, and the themes that keep you interested in it. We're 2 for 2 on the courses we wanted, by the way. So that's cool. I'm trying to think what else was there that was online only? Not counting, what's it called? We're not counting, like, the NSO services, like N64, NES, and all that. That's just retro games. We're talking Switch releases. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, DX, or whatever it was called. That was another eStore purchase for some reason. That was super fun, and man, do I love what they did with the art style. I mean, I like the more pixelated ass cheeks. I will still like the more pixelated retroness of the original version, but man, that art style they went with went hard, and I adore that game. It's one of my favorite Pokemon games. So, shout out to that game. I can't think of, because most of the shit I buy is physical. I cannot think of any more to shout out at the moment. Oh, Link's Awakening. That was another, because that was another, like, COVID-ish time one, when I bought it at least. That was fun. I actually never beat it, for some reason, which is shocking considering my love for the Zelda series. But hey, it was fun. I'm still not a huge fan of that art style. I don't hate it, but I don't love it, and that's the problem. Typically, I love Zelda art styles. That one I'm just kind of with. But, fun game nonetheless, cool to see it remade, and cool to see it sell as much as it did, honestly, because, like, it's an underrated gem in the Zelda series, for sure. Okay, that might be all I can think of off the top of my head. I certainly mentioned all the notable ones at very least. So, after I lock in here and try to do good in this race... I will get into the physical games, which I will go into a little more in-depth. Come on, let's try it. Ah, no, 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 no! Fucking eat me, man. Come on. Not cool. Not cool. I was cooking, yo. That's bullshit. Yeah, we still got 6, whatever. In hindsight, it would be easier to talk while playing Zelda. But whatever. Alright. What's the absolute bottom of the barrel? We're going to Excite Bike Arena. What's the absolute bottom of the barrel? I've already seen it. I've already seen it. And I guess these aren't all perfectly in order now that I'm looking at them, because there's some that I don't play anymore that I have fond memories of towards the bottom. But this one belongs at the absolute bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. That game sucked ass. That's the laziest remake I have ever played. I never beat it. I ended up putting like 60 hours into it because I had a time where I got COVID, and shiny hunted Dialga for an extensive period of time because I was off work for like 9 days. That was a fun experience that I'll never get into for certain reasons. But anyway, yeah, that was chaotic with the job, and I just was on Discord with the boys a lot, and that was when Brilliant Diamond came out. Whoops. I don't know what I was doing there. And that game sucks. I have no desire to ever go back and beat it. There's just no extra content. There's no anything, really. The art style is just the Zelda style that I'm already on, except they did it worse. It's just a cheap copy of it. So yeah, fuck that game. I wish I'd also have time to get into the games I regret not getting, but that's a whole different can of worms that I would have had to do extensive research for. Alright, we'll move on to our next game, and I don't even have to look over, I already know what it is. Super Mario Party. That game is dog shit, absolute Michi. That game is just Mario Party at its absolute worst. I know a lot of people hated like the Wii or Wii U era Mario Parties, but that game's just mostly RNG. The mini games aren't great. The boards aren't great. There's nothing really good about it. At all. But I guess I should say I had some fond memories on it, being able to play as Shy Guy, so it did hold a special place in my heart. But then Jamboree came out, and you can play as Shy Guy, and the game's actually good. So now I don't care about Super anymore. At all. Alright, I don't remember what the next game is. Let me lock in here. This is gonna be one of those streams, folks, where I just ramble about bullshit. Ass cheeks, fuck. I still had my shell. Oh, I had another shell that I could use. That's good to know. Haha, fuck you. Oh, no, I didn't get the double. It fits alright. But in hindsight, Cess, I guess you're right. This is kind of the right game. I mean, everyone and their mother owns this game. I want to say, honest to God, gimme. I want to say, honest to God, there's more owners of, like, there's more copies of this game that's sold than people who regularly play the Switch, which I guess that's not the way I meant to say it. When you factor in, I mean, I guess it's like half of the Switch population, but you have to factor in the people that own 2 Switches just because. You have to factor in collectors. It's still kind of a stretch, like, but pretty much everybody who has a Switch and uses it, at least occasionally, owns Mario Kart. So this is kind of the right game. Anyway, next game. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. That game just didn't age well for me, but I liked it at the time. I liked being able to ride around on a Growlithe. It's just the world design wasn't great. If it was a little more, not open world, but more open to where you could actually, you know, like, feel the effects of it. You were still, like, kind of a little too constrained. Sorry, Donkey Kong. Wait, is that the new Donkey Kong render? There's no way. There's no way they updated my boy in, in the previous gen game. Maybe it was just the lighting. But yeah, so reasonably solid game. It's just like, it was kind of mind-numbingly easy, which I guess you would expect from a Switch 2 era, you know, spin-off Pokemon game. Oh, wait, Wario. Ass cheeks. Oh my god, it's Heisenberg. Holy shit, folks, tomorrow is Walter Wednesday. Let's see. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this one hurts a little bit because I love this series, and it's my 4th most played game on the console. And honest to God, it's not the most important game I've streamed. but it's the game I started out streaming. I built a wonderful community, joined a wonderful community, met a lot of wonderful people, that I still regularly, like, talk to this day. And that game is Mario Strikers Battle League. It's just objectively not a good game. There's not enough content in it. But that game got me ass cheeks. That game got me ass cheeks. The game got me laid. No, the game got me to affiliate in about 4 months of streaming. I started in June. We're probably almost at the 3-year mark at this rate. I started in June. Ass cheeks. It's okay. I started in June of 2022. I was affiliate mid-October of same year. So the game will always hold a special place in my heart. It's just not that great. I kind of put it down low out of spite. It's not actually that low on my list. But it was Yoshin time. It was Shy Guy Saturday. That game, I actually feel bad that it's that low on my list here. Yoshin time. I feel very bad about it, actually, that I'm discussing it this early, when I'm going from worst to best. Anyway, what's next? You know, I could say a lot about Pokemon Scarlet. I could read my tweet from yesterday word for word, and that will basically sum my thoughts upon this game. I think that game's an abomination. I get that the Switch was underpowered for it, but did the game developers not consider that? The game looks like shit. The game runs like shit. Pokemon don't spawn right. That game... And that being said, I still put 100 hours into it, because Pokemon... In my Twitch bio, it says reluctant Pokemon player. Sometimes I just get forced into it. That game is an abomination, and is basically what's wrong with everything the Pokemon Company stands for. Just recycling the same garbage, and they're just, like, super lazy ass with everything, and hopefully that changes going forward. Legends Arceus was a step in the right direction, and then it just all came undone in Scarlet and Violet. My tweet was, congrats to the Pokemon Company on needing an extra 31 months and a console upgrade to make a functional game. And that right there is my thoughts on that game. I get the Switch is underpowered, but, like, then you should have been less ambitious. Then you should have made it work somehow. Like, even if it, like, there's other games on the Switch that don't run great, but they're playable. You're telling me they couldn't have figured something out? And so that game will always be... That being said, I am going to play it on Switch 2, because that is how I've always wanted to shiny hunt. I think the formula for the game and the gameplay style is flawless. Maybe not flawless, great. Ow. I'm running through these a little faster than I thought. Jeez. Well, these are the bad games, so I might have more to say about the good games. Like, I just came up with this idea 30 minutes ago. I need something to ramble about. Similar to the one I did 2 months ago, where I just talked about the Switch 2 Direct. Ass cheeks. Can you tell I don't play this much? We'll discuss that once we get to this game. Donkey Kong, stop running into me, buddy. Digging your own grave. Ah, shit. Oh, we got a point out of that. Cool. I guess that makes sense, because you just, like, smack rocks randomly in that game. I'm coming for you, Walter. I want the crystal. We need to cook. Ass cheeks. Whoa, that was a speed boost I wasn't expecting. That threw me off. Let me lock in here. We'll get to the next game. One thing I gotta do in the next Mario Kart, assuming it's still a mechanic, is a better job of collecting and keeping coins. Okay, someone's still third, but that's okay. What we got next? Mario Golf Super Rush. Decent game, disappointment for me. It just never had that same magic of... The only one I was ever into was the GameCube one. and it just did not have the same magic. I think it's more of a nostalgia thing, honestly, but I feel like a lot of people also felt that same way about it. Shy Guy. I didn't play it as much as I should have, though, despite all of that. I never finished the campaign. I also kind of never gave it a fair shot, but the game never enticed me to, really. Man, I've been kind of negative so far. Jeez. Hey, there's games I don't like on other consoles, too. Aside from the GameCube, I can't think of a single game I don't like on that console that I own. Even the Madden games I like, that's saying something. Like, even Batman Dark Tomorrow, that's the worst game I've ever played, but, like, I enjoy it because of that. Anyway, next on the list. Okay, that one is kind of out of order. Let's do this one first. Nintendo Switch Sports. Once again, solid, but I would just rather play the Mario Sports games. I would rather play the ones that are available to me on NSO. I would rather, as you can probably barely tell, but my Wii is downstairs right now, in anticipation of playing Wii Sports. Wii Sports is just better. They just, I don't know, it's just the art style. I would have just rather them keep basic Miis. That being said, the bowling on it, of course, for the novelty of it, is kind of fun. What the hell are we doing here, Lakitu? Start the race. Oh, thank you. Asking you shall receive. Too busy honking, I lost focus. Yeah, I can't wait till I get into the games I just enjoy more, because right now I just sound like an overly critical YouTuber. Cheeks. Oh, I thought that was a boost. That was the finish line. Yeah, this is a good Rainbow Road, honestly. I just never had any feelings for it because I never played it. But, like, man, they cooked with this one. They cooked with this one. Like, the added color on the road. Donkey Kong, buddy. You're digging your own grave here. I cannot... Fuck. I cannot... Fuck. Actually, you know, no. Mario Kart Ended was the right one to pick here, because, like, I just be saying shit, and then cutting myself off, and it sounds really inappropriate, because I just say stupid shit when it happens. Like, I literally just said, I can't fuck. Yeah, no, there's reasons I felt compelled to start discussing it. One of them being the fact that this got me back into Nintendo. This console, like, and I've always been into Nintendo, to be clear. But, this one finally recaptured the magic. Like, I was entering sort of a nostalgic phase at the time, and then I kind of just slowly discovered that I'm just a retro gamer, it's not nostalgia. But this console made me passionate for Nintendo again. Some of it remakes, some of it original stuff. And that is why I am compelled. The power of nerdiness compels me. Anyway, what's the next one? Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I guess this is a reasonable place to put it. Simply because I can already see a game here that's actually higher than it should be. simply because I didn't finish it. I think those games, I think the gameplay in them is super, super great, but I don't care about the Rabbids, really. Graphics in this one are really good. I never finished the game, and I tried to again, actually, over the past couple weeks, and I lost interest after like an hour. Something about it just, I don't care. It's like, maybe it's like a spitefulness, like, I'm more or less wishing, like, man, why didn't Paper Mario get like a cool concept like this? Maybe that's what it is. Instead, we wasted it on Mario and frickin' Rabbids. But that is a very good game, objectively. We're reaching the point where I don't really have criticisms about the game, it's just slightly personal preference. What's next on the list? Next is, ironically, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That game I don't remember much of, but I remember enjoying it much more. There was also less for me to play at the time, so I was able to finish that game, but that's another one I popped in recently for reasons. And just objectively, Sparks of Hope is better. The gameplay is more complex, it's better. But once again, solid. It's just like, I don't care about the concept. That one does have a leg up on its sequel, though, just simply because it has Yoshi in it. Which the sequel does not, or at least not at the point where I'm at. I'm like halfway through, so I would assume Yoshi's just not there. Ass cheeks. Heisenberg! Gotta remember those coins. I always forget the coins. Fuck you. I will ruin your day now. Uh-oh. Activating dinosaur with shells coming through. It's heavily armed. Sorry, I've kind of lost track of what I was doing, mostly because I locked in for N64 courses. Because I love the N64 courses. I'm legally blind. Uh-oh. Slightly bad angle there. Oh, what was I supposed to be looking, I guess? Okay. Ass cheeks. Hey, we got fourth, okay. Take that. Yeah, that's my overall take on the Rabbids games. They're solid. They're solid. We reached solid territory. Alright, what's next? The next one is Luigi's Mansion 2 at Coconut Mall. The next one is Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. I haven't played it. It's the only game in this stack over here that I can confidently say I didn't play. I, like, literally didn't start it. I bought it when it was on sale for 40 bucks, and I had a disgusting amount of Best Buy rewards. And, yeah, so I ended up getting it for like 15 bucks. Kind of a no-brainer. But, based on what I know about the formula, I think I'm gonna like it the least of the Luigi's Mansions. The first one, nostalgia. Third one, it was a little more open-ended from what I understand this one's kind of like, so. Yeah. I don't even know why I mentioned it, because I've never played it. But it's there. It is there. So technically, this one's a little lower than it should be. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That hype was special. Not because I'm passionate about Smash Bros. Or play it competitively or even regularly. I was a... Oh, we got Coconut Mall. We're getting everything we want tonight, jeez. Just all of the characters being back. The campaign was kind of a disappointment. Like, it ended up being solid, but from what they were showing, I was expecting a masterpiece. Whatever, you know. It is what it is. You just got coconut mauled. share this with your friends to totally do whatever the fuck I just did. Ow. We're in 11th on Coconut Mall. This shall not stand. But yeah, Smash, like, the little cutscenes we got were cool. We just didn't get enough of them. Like, I was hoping for another Subspace Emissary, which I guess was kind of ambitious, given the fact, like, I said this recently on a stream, like, Drag has malicious intent. It's easier to, you know, like, get Sonic and Snake involved in the story than it is to get, like, a couple dozen other, you know, Cloud and the DLC characters and whoever else involved and make the story, like, coherent. That being said, I still wish it happened. I don't care if it was coherent or not. Oh, what a snipe. I didn't do that on purpose. That was just luck. But that being said, the overall hype, like, I had a party at my house when it released, and I didn't have many Switch-related parties at my house, but that game got everybody to come over. Everyone was hyped for it. So that counts for something. That's a huge memory, and, you know, shout out to Smash Bros. For creating that. Competitively, I had a stretch where I tried, and I just realized it wasn't for me. Some of the other side stuff, I like getting the pictures and stuff is cool. I don't think it has the same feel as the checklists back in the day. That's also probably a nostalgia thing. Smash Ultimate is just kind of revolutionary, honestly. Sometimes it's not just about what you like, sometimes it's about what the people like. And the people like Smash Ultimate. That's for damn sure. As they should. What's the next game? Ah, Luigi's Mansion 3. Yeah, I only played it once, and that was like 6 years ago. But man, fantastic game. Super charming. Gameplay was fun. A little more puzzle-based than the previous game, which I think was a super cool addition. Game looked great. Game sounded great. It was just a good game. That's it. There's a good game. It's not one of my more memorable ones on the console, but it's just a good game. It's just good. There's not really much I can say about that one. It is just good. A recent first play, Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury. Shout out to the Wii U, because it does have some hidden gems on it. And this is one of them. 3D World was a great experience. Again, I consider it more of a 2D game than a 3D game, just based on its formula. Now, Bowser's Fury was really good. That was a good way for them to... I really hope they continue that same formula with Odyssey and Bowser's Fury going forward. Just expand on it, maybe open it up a little bit more. But it's Mario, you still want to have your linearity with it. Just maybe open it up in certain areas a little more. Yeah, it's a good game, a good looking game, good sounding game. Just, again, it's another good game that I can't really say a ton about, other than it's just good. It's a good, fun, charming game. I will say the difficulty in it, it's a product of almost a bygone era, which isn't a super long ago era. I mean, we're talking 10 years ago only, but like, some of those post-game levels are top. And you just don't see that a ton in games anymore. At least I feel like you don't. Maybe I just don't pay attention enough. Ass cheeks, ass cheeks, ass cheeks, ass cheeks. Ass cheeks. Yeah, that was a fun game. I can't wait to start getting into the nitty-gritty once we get to the top. I feel like normally I would have so much to say, but, like, I only got so much time. I can only talk so much. Let's see, I'm locked in here. We'll get to the other game in a sec. Ass cheeks. That's a wall. Ass! Fuck you, Peach. Fuck right off. You motherfucker. Okay, now I'm just fucking it. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You get away from me. Okay, we're gonna play defensive. That's fine. Ass cheeks. We're just gonna shoot the gap and pray. Shoot the gap and pray. We take second. That's fine. That's good. Next. Mario Party Superstars. Good game that I did not play enough. Much to my regret. That game, its only flaw was the lack of playable characters. There was only like 8. That is the game's only flaw. Like, the boards were great. It was kind of like a filler game in between the 2 main titles, I guess. But yeah, no, it was a good way to... It had Leaf Leap in it. It had Later Skater in it. It had that game where you, no, is that Jamboree? I don't remember. Where you walk along the cliffs? I don't remember. It had that hockey game in it, though. I love the hockey game. It had the right mix of nostalgia and new in it. I mean, it was all based on older ones, but, like, still. With a modern twist. It was really, really good. That game, it is an absolute travesty that I didn't play it as much as I did, but it's hard to get people together for Mario Party when you're in your mid to late 20s and now 30. It's just tough. Like, you gotta have people sit down and commit to 2 hours and not want to do anything else but that. It's tough. I didn't fully take advantage of the online modes in that game either. I tried to stream it once, I want to say like 2 years ago. And by that point, nobody was even playing it. I had to pivot to Mario Baseball. I think I have that video up on YouTube somewhere. Probably in Shy... Because it was Shy Guy Saturday, I remember that. I do remember that. Shut up, Peach. That's right, keep honking. Keep hippie-hopping. Anyway. Next up is... I don't care if I keep hitting the wall. Next one, and this game is objectively better than the one I'm going to talk about after it. But, you know, such is the order of things. And it's one I could talk about longer, but I'm not going to. DJ Edge, what? We are talking about Paper Mario the Origami King. I think that game is great. It looks great. Above all, it sounds great. The gameplay, outside of one fatal flaw, is really good. The open worlds are nice, a good change of pace. Not that I hate the old formula, of course. The 64 and TTYD are 2 of my favorite games of all time. 1 is my favorite game of all time. But it was a good modernization of it. If you sold that formula today, it probably wouldn't work. Aside from, you know, nostalgia, which, you know... I don't know why I did that. It took me right into a wall. Obviously we got the remake, but would it have sold in that formula? I don't know. I would venture to guess no. I'll take whatever I can get here. Ass. Ass. Yeah, that game, it's a slightly controversial one, but I think it's way more positive than bad. Like, I think it was a step back in the right direction. Just give me a more in-depth story. Give me party members with a purpose. For the love of God, give me some party members that actually have a personality and look different, that are just an integral part of everything that's going on from beginning to end, dialogue, all that fun stuff. Ass cheeks, jeez. But that's probably my biggest criticism, and the battle system sucks. The battle system's just bad. But that would have been tolerable with a better story, and I hope that's the only thing I hope they put in next. But again, that was another one of those moments where the hype was just like, you know, it's like COVID, you got nothing else to do, all I'm doing is playing Animal Crossing and working what was at the time just doing shit work at my job. Ooh. Why does this always come up when the ad break starts? God damn it. Oh well, I'm gonna talk more about Paper Mario in the ad break though, because it's a game I like talking about. I was gonna just take a break straight up here, but of course we're getting Calamari Desert now, which is bullshit. Yeah, Origami King though, just lose the obsession with talking about the fact that they're made of paper. It's okay that they're made of paper, just stop talking about it, make the story about something more substantial, and make the characters, above all else, more substantial in it. You can make it as a papery gimmick, you know, like Thousand Year Door did that, and it was cool. Come on, please, 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 please. Maybe? Yeah, let's fucking go! I wish the people were here for this one. Oh, yes. But yeah, if anything, it made me excited for the future of Paper Mario. For me, the series was kind of dead in the water. Sticker Star was ass. Color Splash, I feel like, to be clear, I've never played those two games. Color Splash got more hate than it deserved, but it's still not great. This game was... It felt like they actually cared when they were making it. They just had their stupid rules and restrictions. That's what Nintendo did. No unique characters, no this, no that. No unique characters is dumb. It's what makes a game what it is. Uniqueness is what makes a game what it is, especially if you're going for like a paper book, like story aesthetic. Above all else, for fuck's sake. But yes, it is a much... There's much more positive than negative. That is for certain. And that is my final thoughts on that one. Let me lock in here and enjoy the wonderful desert. And then when the lovely people get back, we will discuss the next game, which this game, the next one I'm going to discuss is going to be more negative. I feel like some things are just done objectively wrong, but some of it's also personal preference. It's a little bit of both. It's decent, but... Like, at its core, it's decent, but it's paced like ass, and I've sounded like a broken record with this. You already know what game it's probably gonna be. Let me lock in here, though. I want to try to bag first if I can. Nice, good save. Let's get something before the chaos starts. Come on now. Keep it going, baby. Keep it going. We're way ahead. We are way ahead. Come on now. Fuck! Fuck! Come on! Ooh, that's how we do it on Calamari Desert. That is how we do it on Calamari Desert. Fuck yeah, let's go. Ain't nobody fucking with me on my home turf. Fuck you, Coconut Mall again. Yes, sir. That was so electric and nobody saw it, because, as always, my ad timing just ends up... And I already did the snoozes. It's just, you can't draw it up any better. Welcome back, everybody. I got first, believe it or not. I mean, actually, no, I'm not lying. I have the crown. I got first on Calamari Desert. Y'all didn't see it. I apologize. Such is life. Anyway, next game on the list. We're about halfway through now. Next game on the list, and it's not better than at least a few of the games below it. Mario and Luigi Brothership. That game... The way people talk about the Origami King, and I think it's an overwhelmingly positive game, this is how I talk about Brothership. I just don't think Brothership is that great. It started out well, and it ended well. But there's like 45 hours in the middle where it's like, man, this game is a slog. Like, Brothers moves take like a full minute to execute. Dialogue moves really... There's a little too much dialogue, in my opinion. They didn't really do enough to make me care about the story until the very end, when it started to like ramp up in like intensity. Some of the puzzles and stuff were cool, and I think the brothers' moves were very cool. It's just they took too long. Everything in that game, it's like, I feel like everything in that game could have been twice as fast. Like, brothers' moves did not need to take that long to execute. You didn't need a cinematic, like... It's just... It's the simplicity that makes those games what they are. Yeah, I don't mind extra content or an expanded story that, like, pushes the game to 25, 30 hours, but 60 hours? I wouldn't have minded 60 hours if it made sense, but 60 hours for this game did not make sense, in my humble opinion. It moved at an absolute snail's pace. Poorly paced. A lot of the characters I didn't necessarily care about, really, either. The game didn't really make me care about them. Could have been a me issue, I don't know. That's where I say personal preference comes into it, but I do objectively think the game was paced poorly. I get it, they're trying to make it more like a traditional RPG, longer, but I don't think there was enough side content for that, and that brings me to a point I forgot about. The side missions suck. They're all just the same recycled concept. They're just not good. It pains me to say this about a Mario RPG, but I liked the remake ones better. I liked TTYD and RPG more. They just felt more well done and more well-rounded, even with less content and less gameplay. Well, TTYD did have more gameplay, it's shorter. But that's the thing, it's like... There was more substance in the 45 hours that I played of TTYD than there was in the 60-ish hours I played Brothership. It just wasn't paced well. That was... fuck. I was gonna say, if that hits me, then... Come on, man. You getting fucked at Coconut Mall. That Shy Guy got taken out. Damn. DJ Edge edged me. It would appear I've lost Heisenberg, but I still have Joe Rogan, thank God. I guess. Whatever, forget I said that. Mount Wario. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Brothership. I sound like a broken record with it at this point, though. What is after Brothership? Next on my list is Wonder. Wonder? The boss fights sucked. Everything else, super charming. The music, the Wonder Seeds, the levels. I actually popped it back in recently to do a little bit more completion on it. As you can tell, I've been cycling through some Mario games lately. Wonder was... As somebody who... Again, my favorite 2D Marios are in this order. Absolute elite tier. Super Mario Bros. 3 and Yoshi's Island. Really good tier, Super Mario World. Then after that, it's like a mixed match of certain things, like original Mario Bros. I liked the DS version. Then the idea kind of got tired for me after that. I didn't like New Super Mario Bros. Wii. From what I've seen of Deluxe on Wii U, I just like, meh. Just didn't catch my eye at all. This game had personality. It had good gameplay. Good game, and that's something Nintendo prioritized in the Switch era. They really cared about personality. Sometimes it didn't always work. Like, in Brothership, I feel like they went for personality, and I don't think it hit the mark. Wonder it absolutely did. The only thing is, like, the boss fights were so bad that people were begging for the Koopalings back. The boss fights in that game suck. Aside from the final boss, it was easy for me, but, like, you know, it's like, for the 5-year-olds who, like, 5 to 10-year-olds who play the game, like, obsessively, it's probably super challenging. And you gotta have perspective sometimes. That game, it's a perfect game for all ages, super charming for adults, just the right challenge for the younger generation. It's a great, great game. And a wonderful new entry into the 2D Mario universe, which is starting to lose its pizzazz. Where the hell did my shell go? Did someone run into it, I guess? No, 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 fuck. Get to the next game in a sec. We will get there. We will get there. I'm kind of running out of steam talking, so I might not talk about the top games as much as I thought I would, except for maybe like a handful. Because some of them, it's not just the game itself, it's the hype cycle surrounding it. It's your reaction during the Nintendo Direct, which were at their absolute best during this era. Notice how I always throw bombs backwards because I'm afraid I'm going to hit myself? Because I probably will hit myself. Like, there's probably a 100% chance one of these 3 shells hits me. Nope, didn't. Look at that. Fuck me in the ass. Now I gotta do it. A little lucky there. We take those. Second. Good. What's next? Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. That was a very cool unboxing. I'll say that from the jump. And that game unleashed something in me. That was one of my favorite things to stream last year. Definitely one of my top 5 games of last year. Just a wonderful concept that allowed me to revisit some games and get some first plays in ways that I never would have even imagined. It's kind of funny in hindsight, because Nintendo just hates, like, speedrunning and, like, competition in general. But, like, this game, like, fostered it. And for me, since it involved retro, and it wasn't super toxic, it resonated with me like very few games do. That game was special. I still need to go back and 100% it, try to get all S ranks, you know, at least unlock all the emblems and whatever those things were called, badges, I forget what they were called. But fun, fun, fun. That game is... That's another one I could kind of rant about non-stop. But I won't. It's just a wonderful, 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 wonderful game. It's a unique concept that I'm gonna assume didn't resonate with, like, a majority of people. Like, it's not like this thing sold... Like, I guarantee if I tried to play it online right now or went to look at the leaderboards or something, there's probably not much activity. Because people probably just... It dropped off for a lot of people, and I haven't played it in a year either, almost. But... as a retro head, it really resonated with me, and I appreciate the hell out of it. The fact that it exists, give me that for Super Nintendo on the Switch. Give me it for N64, man. Like, give it to me for Paper Mario, Star Fox 64, Super Mario 64, Mario Kart, Ocarina of Time, even games I'm less familiar with like GoldenEye and Banjo, cause fuck it. Give me it all. Give me it all. I love the formula, and I hope they revisit and make it more competitive. Like, figure out a way to make it even more competitive than you already did. We made it. This is Shy Guy Falls, isn't it? think so. I'm getting everything I want today. We'll go over it. It's sad that I don't know that off the top of my head. It shows how little I've played this game, and we will discuss that when we get to that game in the list. I don't remember what the next game is. Ass cheeks. Oh god. What is the next game? The next game is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Okay. Don't mind me stopping. I just wanted to keep it moving here. This game is fantastic. It is the best Mario Kart that's ever released. It's not my favorite. My favorite is 64. That's nostalgia speaking. This is objectively the best Mario Kart game they have ever released. By a wide margin. It is so good. And I didn't even play it 100 hours. This has been out since essentially the console released, and I barely played the thing, and that is one of my biggest regrets. I've stated it multiple times. The same will not happen for Mario Kart World. I'm going to play it a ton from the jump. Of course, I am going to have my spells where I'm super into a one-player game, and you just aren't going to see me play it much. But we're getting minimum 200 hours on Mario Kart on this console, fuck's sake. I mean, I don't play other multiplayer games like I used to, aside from like Rocket League occasionally. I'm gonna play the hell out of Mario Kart on this console, without a doubt. But yeah, the base game's tracks are awesome. Not even just the base game track, like the tracks that they added after the fact, like the fact that I can do Calamari Desert on here, man, in a remade capacity, and it actually entices you to drive on the train tracks, which is just objectively awesome, because I did that as a kid, even though it was detrimental to my success. Third. We take that. But yeah, this game is phenomenal. And just it blows my mind that I didn't play it more. Like, I love Mario Kart. It's like the same thing with Mario Party, and to a lesser extent Super Rush, even though it wasn't my favorite game. I guess I get Super Rush. Yoshi Val, that's another one. And Baby Parker on here, like... They remade so many classics in a perfect way. They really did. And just, it's just a content-packed game. It's just like... The entire world's playing it, essentially. This game is the reason that Mario Kart World exists as a launch title in the grand capacity that it exists in. Alright, as far as I'm concerned here, as long as we don't hit rando, we win. It's Yoshi time! Anyway, that's mostly my thoughts. Ignore me, I'm screaming into the microphone. That's mostly my thoughts on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The biggest thing I can say about it is it's phenomenal, and my hours played it do not reflect that. And that's a travesty. This game should have been played 200 hours minimum. I should have played this double what I actually played it. I'm actually at like 95 hours right now. Maybe this stream will put me over. I could end the Switch era by saying I got 100 hours on this game finally. The defining game of the Switch era. I mean, I don't think it is. I think Breath of the Wild is. But in terms of the amount of people that own it, this game is. Numbers don't lie, folks. Numbers do not lie. I'm a firm believer in the concept of numbers not lying. Anyway, next game on the list is a game that I only played once, but it had some wonderful cutscenes, and only one, like, slight disappointment about it, I guess. Hyrule Warriors. That was my first Warriors experience. And it was really fun. It's not the Zelda that I typically care about, but the story was cool. It was like a spin-off, and that's where my disappointment comes in. I wish it was canon. I wanted to see that... Not that I wanted to see them die, of course, but, like, that devastation, like, of course we see it in the memories, but just like the full effect of it that really makes you appreciate Breath of the Wild and that desolate world even more. And they didn't do that. They made it non-canon and as if they won. But there were some pretty cool cutscenes in that story. I remember loving the one towards the end where it's like Avengers Assemble, but it's Zelda. We got an opportunity here, folks. Oh, fuck. Might have just fucked it. I got that item too quick. We be dodging, we be dodging. Ah, fuck, we not be dodging, we not be dodging, we not be dodging, but we be getting first! It's Yotion time. Do not mess with me. Do not mess with me on the N64 tracks. I don't want to hear nothing. I am him. I am that dude. But yes, Age of Calamity, fun game. Very fun game. It was a different take on a Zelda experience, and I appreciated it. There were some slightly repetitive, but for some reason I didn't mind this kind of repetitive. I don't mind grindy. Goose chases are what get me more, and brothership. And just, you know, aimlessly walking across worlds for no reason. Just the same formula over and over. Like, I don't mind grindy games if it's fun. And that's what that game was. It was a little grindy, a little repetitive, but there were a lot of cool characters. It's just, like I said, the story, the ending could have been better, and I guess the time travel, I know a lot of Zelda games involve time travel, but it wasn't a great use of it in that. Like, I'm not a huge fan of bringing the future characters into the past. It was a little weird, but again, overwhelmingly positive game. All right, what's my next two? We are now in the top 12, I want to say. Top 13, sort of. Yeah, next up is Pokemon Sword. Probably my favorite mainline. Actually, it is my favorite mainline. I don't know what you consider mainline, I guess. I don't know if remakes count. But it's my second favorite Pokemon game on the console. Honestly, Rescue Team DX might be up there. Only played it once, though, so I kind of forget about it. But yeah, no, that's I'm a fan of it. The story was boring as hell. I want to be clear on that. The team that you go up against sucked. But the gameplay was solid. Like, I really enjoyed, like, this half-openness of it, where they didn't fully commit to it. Like, they were experimenting, and I think it went well. Ow. And my god, once again, this is one where the memories come in. The max raid battles with the boys, man. Special. In that DLC. It was special. It was just absolutely special. Sometimes that's what it's about. Like, even if you don't like the base game, like, sometimes there's just a mode that you and the boys just have a blast with, and sometimes that's all that matters, and that is the case with Pokemon Sword. It's a good game. It's a good game, and I have a lot of memories attached to it, and that's part of why we are reminiscing. I'm a big nostalgia guy. Not a huge... Well, I'm a reasonable nostalgia guy, I guess I should say. Ass cheeks. Come on, give me something, give me something. I got spammy there. Good second. I know I cut up to third, but damn. All right. Cool. But yeah, Sword, good game. I feel like, and even the first DLC was good because it gave me Lickitung access. I'm a big Lickitung guy. You're not gonna be able to see him. He's back there in the mess of Pokemon. He's like dead center. You might be able to see him, I don't know. Probably not. But he's in there. He is in there, right in between my Meowth from like 20 plus years ago that I found in my parents' attic, and Pikachu Libre. And then of course Grookey and Charmander up front there. But yeah, he's in there. We love our Lickitung. What's next? Alright, now we are firmly in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are firmly in the top 12 now. This game deserves to be higher on the list, but it's a newer release. So I guess I fully haven't gotten the effect of it yet. Super Mario Party Jamboree. It is... I haven't felt like this playing a Mario Party since 4 and 5 on the GameCube. This game is a masterpiece. I'm very happy it's going to get some expansion on Switch 2. I want to make it clear I'm not getting any of that on Switch 2. That's a little too much for me. But I'm glad they are fully supporting it nonetheless. Koopathlon, that's one of the most fun things I've ever done on the Switch. I love Koopathlons. I haven't even played all of the boards on there yet, but I like most of them. There's nothing that's... I guess the one from, I think it's Super Mario Party, or yes, from Mario Party 3, I think it's the Cloud one. That one's kind of ass. I don't like that one. Beyond that, I haven't met a board I didn't like yet. The Train one, Peak, of course. Mini games in there are really good. The new ones are good. Shout out to Free Throw, or a 3-Throw. Shout out to Stamped Game, whatever it's called, Domination being there. That's lots of my favorites there. Shout out to Leaf Leap being kind of hidden in there as a... in Mario's 3-peat. Love me some Leaf Leap. Yeah, Jamboree is just an all-around good time. It's a Jamboree, more or less. It's a good game. It's just not really a negative thing I could say about it, other than the one board being ass. It's just everything I would have wanted Mario Party to be on this console. Some, like, side stuff, like, some more modern, like, you know, online elements that people could do, like, you know, you pop on, you do 3 Koopathlons, it takes you 20 minutes, and you're done. You know, it's a good way to turn on the game, but not have to commit to a 2-hour-long board game. Yeah, I think they did everything right with Jamboree. That is... As you can tell, we are in the upper echelon of the console for me now. There won't be many negative things said here, at all. If any. If any. We are in the upper echelon now, folks. My next game, I remember the next game, luckily. Super Mario RPG. Of course, it was just a remake, a reskin, more or less, but they added new gameplay features, and they don't take away from the experience. They add to it. Not a very long experience, but like I said, that's not all that matters. It's, there was a ton of substance in those, like, 25-ish hours that I played that game. It is a wonderful, wonderful, charming experience. Gino, my boy. Mallow, my boy. Just great characters. The Easter eggs that, of course, they kept in there for nostalgia. You love to see stuff like that, like finding Samus and finding Link at one point. The Final Fantasy inspired boss or whatever. I don't remember the exact story here. I should have used this a while ago. You can tell I'm getting into it now. Yeah, now that game is... it's a good game. It is a good game. Again, I only played it once, and I only ever played the original Super Mario RPG once. But I love what they did with the art style. It's kind of... We're going... Come on. Show me some cultured people here. Come on, Baby Park. We got three of us. Anyone else using tilt controls? Yeah, that's a, it's a charming game. The music was really remade well and well done. I was overall loved it. I wish there was a little more post-game content, I guess. Maybe they added a little bit more to it than that. I didn't really expect them to. But that game sold very well, which is surprising. Comparing it to the sales of TTYD, like, I guess you're thinking of timing of releases, and that was the second RPG, and, like, I get it. One was a holiday title. a lot of people might have bought it not knowing, like, that it was an RPG. Like, people know what Paper Mario is, and for the most part, it's just the people who care about the series that buy it. Like, they don't seem to be attracting anybody new. Which is weird, because I think it's just as good, if not better. But RPG, what a wonderful, wonderful game, wonderful remake, wonderful idea by Nintendo to remake that game. It made a lot of people happy, and that, above all else, is super cool. That is just... that right there is what it's all about. Just people being happy, and people seeing that game get some love again after it, because they thought it was dead in the water for a while. It's always great to see. That is, and I was super hyped for it at the time. I was hoping for a Paper Mario announcement at the time, when it was announced, and I was super disappointed at the time, because everyone was saying it's a beloved Mario RPG that's getting remade. I'm just like, oh shit, it's gotta be TTYD. Or the first one, but preferably, because like I said, I think the first one's perfect. First Paper Mario, that is perfect as is. No remake needed. And so is TTYD, but you know, they kind of proved us wrong with that. They put a lot of fun stuff in there. But then we got the TTYD announcement like 3 months later anyway. That's insane. But yeah, RPG was a great game. And on that note, we're now in the top 10. Which is weird because the first game, I don't know if it was one of my top 10 games on the console or not. Could be recency bias. A couple of the games I mentioned previously, like NES World Championships or Mario RPG. Whoops. A couple others could have cracked the list. Focus here, hold on. Then we'll get back to it. Actually, these next two games are going to be two from the same series, and I try not to count remakes in my top 5 games on the console or top 10, whatever. But in terms of, we're talking about just enjoyable experiences right now, they count for that. We take 4th. This is tough, which one I should mention first. I'm gonna go with... First, we're gonna discuss... Yeah, first we're going to discuss Echoes of Wisdom. Once again, a wonderful game. Perfect length, I think, for a top-down Zelda. For an open-ish world top-down Zelda. Open world linear-ish top-down Zelda, which I was a big fan of. I want them as flawless as I think the two 3D Zelda games on Switch are. I would like to see a little bit of that old school charm in there. I'm good either way. I want to make that clear. But that was they hit the perfect happy medium. The story was a banger. I was not expecting that from a 2D Zelda that looked as adorable as it did. The story was kind of dark. We got like some lore that even predates Demise and Skyward Sword. Oh my god, that game was special. I had a ton of fun playing that game. It was a super funny game to play. It was easy as hell, but it had that charm that made you not care about how easy it was, you know? It was just one of the top experiences on the Switch, and I feel like it's going to get overlooked because it was late in the life cycle of it, but that was a wonderful, wonderful direct to be a part of for a multitude of reasons. I was going batshit insane during that. Of course, the opening announcement ended up being a disappointment for me. The Metroid Prime 4 reveal, oh god. That direct, that might have been the best direct of all time, honestly. For me, personally. Maybe not, that's a stretch, but it slightly edges out other ones that I could think of right now. But yeah, so that was... Hold on, let me focus here. I always fuck this up. See? Always. What the fuck? What did I do there? Which brings me right into our next game. We went for the one that had some lore drops that predated Demise. Now we're going to talk about Demise. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. This was two games I was super hyped for that year, with this one and another one that we're going to talk about soon. Skyward Sword was the only 3D Zelda that I had never played. I never had it on the Wii. I wasn't into Zelda in my younger days. That was more of my... Like I said, that was my college days that I got into Zelda. I never had Skyward Sword. Of course, it's not a hard game to find. I found it. I now own it for the Wii. I've never played it on the Wii, though. I had a wonderful time, and I think it's overhated as hell. I get why, if certain dialogue... I'm gonna sneeze. Nope, I'm not gonna sneeze. If certain things about Fi were a bit more annoying on that game, I could see that being a problem. If the motion controls weren't great, I could see that being a problem, but the Wii motion controls are objectively better than the ones you get on the Switch, so I don't see how that was a problem. The story, in my opinion, is the best story in Zelda. Its formula is super linear, yes, but this is an origin story. Like, what do you expect? It has to be. I get it was more linear. Maybe it lets you... Maybe it takes you back to areas too much. That's maybe a little problem, but I loved those stress where you're getting the tears. That was... Those sequences were awesome. The ending almost made me cry. The story throughout was wonderful. Probably our second best Zelda that we've ever had. It's a wonderful game, in my opinion. I think the story is flawless. Demise was super cool. It was cool to see an origin story to Zelda, the franchise of Zelda, and I guess Zelda herself, technically, and the hero... The hero, whatever you want to call him, the hero. It's just a great game. It's, I'm higher on it than most people. I have it above Majora's Mask on my Zelda tier list. And I just think the overall vibes of that game, like, I remember when I started playing it and I was, like, chasing Fi through the night before I even knew who or what she was. That was, like, a surreal experience. Just, like, the game looks great. And Groose. Groose. I love Groose. And then, of course, when I went to see the Mario movie, I saw Groose on the big screen. There was an ad for the Switch and I guess Zelda, by extension, on there. And I saw Groose on the big screen in a movie theater. That is surreal. Groose is the MVP. We need more characters like Groose that are super goofy, but go through a very serious and, like, emotional journey throughout the game. We need more of that in Zelda. Anyway. On to the next two. Right now, the order's going to start getting a little more definitive. I already see one I have to, like, redo, but that's fine. Not redo, but, like, they're out of order, but I'm going to do them in the correct order. The next one we got is Super Mario Odyssey. That's my 8th game on the Switch. I replayed it recently, and I always knew it was a super charming, well-put-together, wonderful game, but I forgot just how much. Like, I never talk about it, I never really think about it, but I've been thinking about it non-stop since I replayed it. It is a super charming and sometimes challenging game. Like, it has a lot of variety to its gameplay. The game looks and feels great. It is just a wonderful game. It was an interesting modern take. It was a good way to have Peach get kidnapped, but make her not, I won't say useless, but not just the typical damsel in distress. It gave her some personality at the end when you had to chase her around the world. The post-game content in that game is kind of what I was forgetting about. Oh my goodness, there's so much. And the worlds are so well put together and charming that you want to revisit those worlds, that it doesn't feel repetitive. Ow. It's a wonderful game. It's like, it's flawlessly put together. Come on now, come on, finish strong here. Nice, good finish. Good finish. Yeah, that's... I don't know what more I could say about Odyssey, honestly. Like, I don't have anything negative, really. Like, some worlds hit better than others, but, like... there's just something different. The gameplay is just so varied, but so consistent. It's like, they strike the perfect balance with everything, they really do. And I will say... one thing, and it's one of my favorite things about the Sonic series, I'm glad they gave us a vocal theme for this game. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. Sonic ones have that more edginess to them. But it exists, and that makes me happy. Alright, so that was number 8. Number 7 is Out of Order. Then I also see the next two after these two out of order. So I gotta go number 7. Metroid Dread. That was the second game of that year with Skyward Sword that I was super hype about. At that time, I had played 2D Metroid before. That was when I was, like, I was always a Prime guy, y'all know that. But I had played them before. I was just starting to get, like, more hardcore into them, and just, like, I don't know, like, something about me flipped as a gamer around that time, those span of years. And I enjoyed the chaotic nature of them sometimes. I enjoyed the challenge, like the do it as fast as you can, as efficiently as you can. Like, something was starting to flip then. And I was so excited just because, you know, it's... I guess I want to say the main reason is I never got into it is our last 2D Metroid was what? It was 2004, correct? Is that the right year? 2004 for Fusion? And of course that was sort of when those were the years when my gamer phase was starting, but I didn't get into them then, and they weren't releasing any 2D Metroids, really. So, like, even the remake of the first one came before that. We didn't get Samus Returns until, what, like 2018? Like, there was nothing to make me even think about them. But something about Dread just got me. It looked super cool, and in my opinion, it's the best 2D Metroid. My favorite might be Zero Mission, but man, Dread is it's a flawlessly designed game. It's just, it's great. It's something else that I can't complain about. My first playthrough of it, on 2 specific bosses, and then the final boss, I probably died 40 times each. My second time playing it, though, it was better. It was only like a handful of times each. And then the last time I played it, which I guess is a testament to how far I've come as a gamer since 2021, I died to one of them twice. The next one that I died to multiple times, I didn't die once. And then the final boss, I want to say I died 3 or 4 times. So it's like the more you play it, the better you get at it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what it is all about. That is what Metroid is all about. A challenge that once felt impossible. Like, I was just riding the wave. It just felt great the most recent time I played that game. And they age well, because, like, as much as I love Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and some other games of that length or style, it's hard to go back in, because you're looking at minimum 50 hours of content. And it's intimidating. Like, where I'm at in life right now, I only have so much time to game. I just fucking cheesed that. But we take that. And the fact that I could beat Metroid Dread in 3 days at most is what makes it better for me. Like, people will clown it. People say, oh, $60. Like, at the time, it was a point of contention. You know, $60 for a game that you can beat in under 20 hours. I don't give a shit. It's all about the substance. For me, I care about replayability. A lot of people these days don't for some reason. I'll never understand that. And the game sold well. It's the best-selling, I believe it's the best-selling Metroid game ever, correct? If I remember correctly. And it was nominated for Game of the Year. It did win an award, too. That's huge. Yeah, I can rave about that game nonstop, and what it meant to the Metroid series and myself. It's a wonderful game. That brings me to... Let's see. Ooh, that's a tough back and forth, but I think that one needs to be in the top 5. So I'm gonna go 6. This isn't a Nintendo game. Sonic Shadow Generations. 2024 was the year of Shadow the Hedgehog. You probably just smashed your screen hearing me say it again. But oh my goodness, what a wonderful experience that was, even though it was only like 5 hours on the first playthrough and subsequent playthroughs are like 3 hours. Man, like, that game means so much to me. It was the first, I guess, Sonic game. Like, I liked Frontiers too, and I still like Frontiers, but there was a lot of jank involved. It was the first Sonic game I thoroughly enjoyed since the 2000s. And that meant something to me, because I love Sonic the Hedgehog. For Christ's sake, I've seen the music performed live. I almost cried in the movie theater, not once, but twice. Even the second time, even though I knew what happened in the movie, I still almost fucking cried. That is how much Shadow the Hedgehog means to me. And the fact that they went extra for him, they made his game look that much better. They made his gameplay, like, they perfected it. It's just, the game is perfect. It's the perfect Sonic game. I wish it was a little longer, especially on the Shadow Gens side. But it is a wonderful game. It was my game of the year last year, so it's got to be up there for my Switch library. Even though I also played it on PS5. But that game was a huge part of my Switch 2 experience, and therefore must be acknowledged. It's that simple. It is... What the I guess my drift button didn't work. Whoopsie. It is just a wonderful, wonderful game. It's one of the more heartfelt stories, short stories you'll see in gaming. And a lot of care, you can tell, went into it. As I continue to fuck up here and get knocked off course. You can just tell, like, a lot of love and care went into the game, and that in itself is awesome. It's just a wonderful game. Rail Canyon, my beloved. Black Doom, my beloved. People clown on Shadow the Hedgehog, man. But now everybody loves Black Doom. Because now it's all of a sudden cool to like Black Doom. All thanks to Sonic Shadow Generations. That game really... It brought Shadow back to the forefront, as it should. He's one of their cooler characters, and I'm glad they finally realized it. DJ Edge is still in here, that's cool. This has been a pretty good lobby I've been in. Like, I've had some bad games and some good games. I do like these SNES remake ones. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Shadow Gens. I don't need to say more, I've raved about the game enough. So now, we've reached the top 5. We have indeed reached the top 5. I'm actually having second thoughts about placement on one of the games now. It's in the top 5 regardless. But I think I need to go by... No, actually, no. By my level of enjoyment, I'm still going to go that route. Gotta take off the nostalgia glasses sometimes. To be fair, 3 of these games are originals to the console, so it's not all nostalgia. First one, number 5, Pokemon Legends Arceus. That is the most I have enjoyed playing the Pokemon game since Ruby. I love the new formula. I love the pseudo open world. I loved the shiny hunting in it. I loved the story. The overall concept, I mean, it's kind of weird that, you know, they took a kid from the future and just, like, took him away from his family forever, I guess. But, like, that game's kind of hardcore. Like, there's some lines in there just to make you realize, huh, they're saying this shit in a Pokemon game? And it's like, it was cool to see. It made me appreciate the, what's the Gen 4 region again? I don't care about Gen 4 that much. It's probably my least favorite of the first 5 gens of Pokemon. Probably my least favorite of the gens I've played. It just doesn't have, I don't know, there's just not as much personality in those games for me for some reason. But this made me care about it more than anything. Man, like, Legends Arceus is an absolute banger of a video game. It's just everything about it. And it's, again, one of my fondest memories of the Switch. I remember when they announced it and showed some footage of it, how excited I was. You could tell, whoops, they were really trying to turn a new leaf with that game, and try to change things, and then Scarlet and Violet came out, and they didn't change things. They reverted. And that was tragic. But Legends Arceus, I think, is a perfect formula for what they should do going forward, with some minor tweaks. It's not a flawless game, but again, I like grindy if the grindy part is enjoyable, and in this game it was. Thoroughly for me. And again, the shiny hunting, everything about it, just a wonderful, wonderful experience. I feel like there should be more I should be saying about this. It's one of my 5 favorites, but I think I've covered it all. Hell yeah. That's huge. Second, hell yeah. Nice. Yeah, completing the decks, which usually I feel like is a chore in Pokemon games, even in my favorite Pokemon games. I never actually completed the decks until Let's Go. I'm a casual Pokemon player, but that game, I was very serious about that game. And it spawned some of the funniest moments you'll ever see. Like, you just have a, an innocent, like, Oshawott standing there, and then he just gets hyper-beamed to death by a gigantic Snorlax. Just the concept of... There was a reason I thought about streaming that game tonight. There was a reason. Because I just love the game that much. It got me... When I was starting to get out of the Pokemon series, like I was starting to have my last straw, and honestly, Scarlet and Violet might have been my last straw if this game wasn't sandwiched in between. It's that good of a game. I love it. It's a game, even on, as we enter the Switch 2 era, I have my list of games that I carry everywhere with me when I travel, when I fly. That game is going to be a mainstay for a long time. Even with Legend ZA coming, it's like, looks like both games are going to be completely different vibes. Again, it's like my favorite game to shiny hunt on. Didn't we just do this course? Anyway, on to the next two, which as much as I love the two, you've heard me rant about the two games enough, you've watched me play one of them enough, you watched me 100% the other one. The reason I don't have much to say about them is because they're both remakes. Well, remaster and a remake. And as a result, there's not much I could say other than how well the remakes were done. At number 4, I'm going to keep it in my order that they're in on the GameCube. So I'll keep this one underneath it. Number 4 is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I remember sitting at my brother's place down in Florida at the time, watching the Nintendo Direct. He was on a work meeting at the time, and it took everything in me to keep quiet and not jump up and start screaming. My God. That was the most exciting announcement of the Switch era for me. Like, the fact that they were trying to bring back classic Paper Mario. I've said all the positive things I've said about Origami King, and I meant those things. But, again, we need the story. We need characters with substance. And that game means so, so, so much to me. The fact that it got some love on this console, the only negative thing is it just didn't sell well. And I think I had my criticisms about the Pit of 100 Trials. Did they make it more accessible? Yes, but the Pit of 100 Trials is for it to be a grind. It's to be a gauntlet. They messed that up a little bit. Beyond that, the game's still flawless. It's just, man, like, again, sometimes, like, did I need that game? No, I can pop in Thousand Year Door and play it right now if I wanted to. But, the fact that they got a hype cycle going, they tweeted about it nonstop for like 6 months. I think Nintendo wanted that game, just based on how much they were tweeting about it, like what they're doing with Donkey Kong Country right now. They wanted that game to sell more than it did, and I think they're surprised it didn't with how much people were asking for it. But it's like the Metroid series. Everyone's just raves about it and loves it, and then when it comes time to buy or play the game, they don't fucking do it. That being said, the Paper Mario community is still pretty large. It's just disappointing that that game did not sell. I didn't expect it to be a 10 million seller. I was really thinking it was going to be a 5 million seller, though, with how much people bought... People bought into the game. And I'm shocked it didn't. It might not ever eclipse 3 million. And that's disappointing to me with this install base. If they released it like 2 years earlier on the Switch, I think it would have sold more. But it all depends if Nintendo sees it as a success or not. Because objectively, Origami King, despite being less popular amongst, you know, Nintendo online community, whatever, it's sold like twice as much. Now, of course, you got to take COVID into context. People were just buying games so they had games to play and stuff to do. But the reality is, the game, for me, I thought the game would hit 5 million for sure. I mean, we're talking about a Mario game, and it was after the Mario movie. But nonetheless, the hype cycle for that, I was so excited for it. I got my hopes up too much. I was about to say the game disappointed me. It didn't. I just got my hopes up too much. Objectively speaking, I got my hopes up too much. But they changed enough. They added a lot of cool stuff. Easy top 5 game for me. And then that brings me to number 3. Metroid Prime Remastered. And once again, I want to say this video is proof, or this stream is proof that I could ramble on about anything for 2 hours. Anything Nintendo related. Metroid Prime Remastered. That Shadow Drop, and again, it's another one that I'm just like, how did this not sell at least 2 million? Everyone loves Metroid Prime, the way they talk about it, but I don't think the Shadow Drop helps. The way they released it, they kind of didn't promote it after they Shadow Dropped it either. I think it just crossed 1 million, or maybe it didn't even do that, since I don't even know if they've announced sales figures on it, which is kind of tragic. But it makes me nervous for how well Metroid Prime 4 is going to sell. But my god, if that's not the most flawless remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, that I have ever seen in my life. I mean, I've streamed it like 3 or 4 times now. I've played it like 10 times now. It's so fucking good. It's so good. It's like exactly how I remember it, but then you put them side by side, and it's not. It looks much better. And it's just... it's the perfect remake. They didn't have to add anything to it either. Like, and that could be why, because people are just like, oh, 8-hour game. And that's the thing, it was $40. That's what shocks me more than anything else. Like, they discounted it. But still people say, oh, I'm spending $40, oh, at least 20 hours of gameplay. Fuck you, replay it. The game's meant to be replayed. Read all the scans. Slow yourself down. I don't want to hear it. It's my second favorite game of all time, and they remastered it. That game is perfection. Fuck you, knocking me off like that. Stop stealing my shit, people. Come on. Yeah, that game is... again, I've talked about it enough while playing it, so there's only so much I can say without getting tired of hearing myself talking about it. But it is a game of all games. It really is. You want to dance, buddy? 3 bananas in 7th? I'm gonna just go fuck myself then. Yeah, that game, once again, like, there wasn't a hype cycle because it was a Shadow Drop. But, that's bad that I didn't get an item there. That's gonna bite me in the ass. Yeah. Yup. We still got 7. That's cool. But I vividly remember that Direct. It was right after, I believe, the Nintendo 64 Online announcement, I want to say. That sounds right. And I remember, as soon as I saw it, I jumped out of my couch, even though I kind of knew it was coming. We're going to take a quick break here, actually. And then once I saw what it looked like, and then they started talking about it, and like with the optional controls, that's the big thing. Like you can play it like the Wii, which is my preference to play it, not on Switch, because Switch's motion controls suck. But yeah, it is the fact that you can play it dual stick, traditional, or again, my personal preference is to play it on the Wii, but I need to play it actually on the Wii then with good motion controls. Not where I have to keep resetting the cursor and whatnot, whatever you want to call it. It was a surreal experience. Once again, it's just one of those things, like sometimes it's the reveal and other stuff with it. It's perfect. So that being said, there's 2 games left. You guys probably know what they are already, but I need to use the restroom, and we have an ad coming up. So we shall discuss the final 2 as in-depth as I can without sounding like a broken record. Because these are other 2 games that are kind of a point of contention, especially the second one. But I digress. To the bathroom I go. Be right back. Only a little more rambling. People call me Mr. Worldwide. Let's get back in there. Yeah, we're ending the stream with Shy Guy. We have to. We just have to. Alright, let me make sure I didn't forget any games first. Knowing me, I could have skipped one. Oh, no skips there. Yeah, no, that's it. Alright, all we got left are the final 2. And y'all already know what they are, so we'll get right into it. I could rant about both of these games in the best way possible. They have kind of their flaws a little bit, but all games do. Like, it's probably the, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos lately on the topic, so I'm not going to let that cloud my judgment on how thoroughly I enjoyed both of these experiences. Game number 2, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I love this world of Hyrule. The way they expanded on it was absolutely flawless. The only thing I will say is the game doesn't, the first playthrough is magical. I said it at the time, it was my favorite first playthrough of a video game I've ever done. And I still mean that. The sense of wonder, the sense of what's next, everything. And the reason it doesn't age as well, because in hindsight, some of the stuff was repetitive. But that's me getting my hopes up again. It's like, you know, it's how many different things can you do? But, you know, and there's people who say they made the world too big if that's the case. I don't believe so. Caves felt different. You know, there's a lot of different ways to get the resources you need and or want in that game. And again, the depth were a magical experience on the first try. I would never, in my right mind, want to explore the depths for the first time again. Because with the exception of a couple locations where you can like grind, and again, I don't mind grinding. I think that game hits the perfect balance of grinding. But it is, in hindsight, kind of repetitive, but they make good use of it in the game. Like with the Koroks, when you're trying to get into Korok Forest, there's the fire temples there, fire dungeon, whatever you want to call it. So they make good use of it. So I'm not a firm believer in it's too repetitive. It is repetitive, maybe a tad too much, but I'm not a firm believer in it's way too repetitive. I'm not. I had a wonderful experience exploring the depths the first time. Sky Islands, that was the part that was a little disappointing, but it was still cool to be up there, like, and to just watch the system handle it as well as it did. Like, that game runs, aside from a few spotty moments, like, the Sky Islands were cool too. It's like, could it have been better? Yeah, but maybe it will be in the next game. Can't get everything all at once, people. That game is just... There's just so much about it. The story... People criticize the story a lot. It's not the story, it's the structure. They need to figure out a way to make the story linear. I will say that about the modern Zeldas. They need to figure out a way to make it, at least the story, linear again. Because the way you experience the story isn't necessarily great. But the story itself, in my opinion, is great. The characters in the story, sometimes that's what it's all about, as I always say. I love every single one of them. Especially my boy Tulin, of course. I still haven't gotten a bird and named it Tulin yet, like I promised. But that is something I could do in the future. Fuck, forgot about those. Ow. Fuck, bro. That was a... What the fuck happened there? What the fuck did I do? Why did I do that? Ignore me. But yeah, the game means so much to me. I mean, I put 300 hours into it in the first year it was out. Not even. Like, by the end of December 31st, I hit 300 hours. I was playing that game non-stop, and I can't even say that about its prequel. I can't even, despite it being higher on the list. We'll get to that. It's a game that means so much to me. It's a game that will always mean so much to me. I love the open world format for Zelda. I'm kind of the popular opinion that you can do that and have super linear dungeons that you get lost in for an hour to an hour and a half. And if you leave, you have to restart or something like that. I'm a firm believer you can do that and still have this open world formula. But if the next Zelda game was very similar to this with some minor tweaks, I'm perfectly okay with that. The only thing I will venture to say, it's not that I don't like it, it's not for me. There was way too much emphasis on building with those Zonite devices. That's not my style. I prefer horseback. It feels more like Zelda when you're on horseback, or like some sort of small gimmick, like a boat or a train or something. You know, it's just like you could build these crazy contraptions and break the game, and some of them were objectively funny, and that adds to it. That's why I still think it's a good thing. But it's not my thing. Aside from, I like building the simple stuff. I don't like going all out. It's not my style. It's just not. But again, it's in my at least top 15 games of all time. And at the time, I remember saying it might be my second favorite game of all time, or maybe my favorite. That was recency bias. It's not. Like I said, the game does not age as well as its predecessor, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It goes from, like, clear-cut best game of all time to just, like, standard masterpiece, is what I'm saying. Just figure out a way to do the story structure better next time, and you got it, man. Like, that, it's a great... I loved everything about it. And that brings me to its predecessor. And the only game that could top my Switch 2 experience, or Switch 2? From the future? The only game that can top my Switch experience, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Breath of the Wild. Of course, I played, as I said, Tears of the Kingdom more in its, like, opening year. I've done most of the story, but twice. Obviously, I've done the full story once. But, I didn't finish the story the second time. I got sidetracked by another game. I was going in for a revisit. I got 3 of the Divine Beasts done. Didn't get to the fire one for some reason. Just didn't. Cheesed it. Cheesed it. Cheesed it. But Breath of the Wild again, it is a top 5 game. It's my 3rd favorite game of all time, and that is saying something. Me and my retro nostalgia brain right here put a game that was released in 2017 on his top 5 list. That is how much that game means to me. That game, that's another one where people can be overly critical of the story, except here, I don't see it. The formula fits much better with, like, discovering the memories and stuff. I don't understand how there isn't a story. I'll never understand that criticism. I think the story's flawless in that game. The personality from the heroes, the Divine Beast heroes, what were they called? I need to replay the game, holy fuck. Seeing Mipha and that final cutscene of her saying she misses her father, like, I almost cried, man. I could cry now. That was knowing how much her and Link cared about each other, knowing that, you know, that's how long Zoras live, you know, like, the king lost a daughter, like, that's... And, like, just her standing up there, like, reminiscing, wondering how her family is doing and hoping they're not sad without her, and... I gotta stop, otherwise, oh shit, we got it, we got Rainbow Road, folks. We got the Rainbow Road. The best Rainbow Road. Man, that's, And exploring exploring that game was a treat. The first time, you know, you encounter the Divine Beast, going all the way out to the Akala region. Fuck, man, it's just it's a great game. It's no other way to say it, like, and this is the game that I have by far the most memories with on this console. I've replayed my handful of games. There was the remakes, there was the nostalgia, there were the cool moments. And I'll get more into that too as I go. Thanks, buddy. I'm just realizing this, they put a civilization down there. That's so cool. That's not like that in the N64, is it? Or have I just never noticed? Fuck you, Waluigi. Ass cheeks. Blue Shell's low-key overrated, honestly. Like, it doesn't help me at all. All it does is ruin one person's life. Maybe 2 or 3 if there's someone near him. Let me lock in here. I can't finish 11th on this track. I can't. There's no way. I can't. I may end up finishing 11th. I'm gonna finish fucking 11th. Maybe 10th. Probably 11th. Time to retire? Yikes. The game means so much to me. I'm trying to think. It's been so long since I've... Because Tears of the Kingdom kind of, like, took over, like, in terms of my exploration aspect. But I did pop it back in recently a couple times, and, it's timeless. It's, man, it's like, even, like, let's think about the other, Rivali. I thought he was annoying the first time I played the game, but in hindsight, he's a super cool character, one of the most in-depth characters. I watched a video on him. Shout out to my boy Zesty for recommending that video to me, and it made me realize just how cool of a character he is. Exploring up there for just the entire story, the main objectives were wonderful. The final boss was kinda ass, but whatever. Everything else was great. I'll never forget, when I got the prediction right, which it wasn't an easy prediction, that the old man that you met was the king. I said that from the jump. I'm just like, this guy's the king. I just didn't realize he was dead. And just that entire opening sequence on the Great Plateau was wonderful. Like, it was the perfect intro to the game. Super charming, super... just the personality it was all there, man. And that already felt big enough. Like, that was my first true dip into, like, big-time open world, I would say. Like, I had played other things that were sort of open world before, but Never of anything of that magnitude, and that brings me to my next point. I could talk about this game forever. Like I said, I got like 2 or 3 more main points for it. For this one specifically, one of my favorite moments that I've ever had in gaming, and I didn't even know how expansive the world I was getting into was. Like, I didn't watch trailers or anything. I just got the Switch on a whim almost. Like, I mean, it was calculated, but like, it wasn't just like, oh, I've seen the trailers, I need to get this. I just did it. And I'm just like, well, I'm kind of back into a Nintendo phase now. Let's see what they got. And that right there was the moment I felt back. Again, one of my favorite moments I've ever experienced when I jumped off the Great Plateau. And I know that's probably a generic thing to say. Like, everyone's just like, oh, that was when I realized the adventure was just starting. But for me, it was, but it was something more about it. Just the way it felt. It wasn't even the adventure starting. It was, it just felt like something new that I had never experienced before. And I couldn't figure out why. It just felt that way from the jump. And I guess my last main point on this game is, I did say I would get into it. I have more memories with this game on the Switch than any other. Like, playing it at people's houses, people watching me play it, just being like... Because that was when I was in my, like, post-college phase, where I was still going out, you know, like, the boys would come, we would Uber back. I was paying rent at the time, but I was in the house I'm currently in right now. Like, it's full-size house. So this was the place to meet. And, just coming back. And the first thing I would do every time to help myself fall asleep was pop in that game. From 2018 when I got this thing, all the way through 2020. And even, like, right when the world started opening back up, post-COVID, like, I still had the same effect. Fuck! I just kept doing it. I kept coming back to the game. Tears of the that's where we differentiate here. Tears of the Kingdom, I played the hell out of. I haven't kept coming back to it. I do go back to it, but it's not constant. I constantly kept coming back to Breath of the Wild for years. I couldn't put the thing down. It is just... It's a modern gaming experience like no other. It truly is, and it is a game that means so much to me and always will. It's like... I don't know, just... The memories I attach to that game, like I said, just hanging out with the friends back in the day before, when we were still in that phase of our lives. Passing out with my Switch, the battery dies while it's sitting on my chest. And I wake up and I'm just like, oh. So that's where drunk me put myself. And I'm just like standing in front of like a fucking lintel. Or I'm just in the middle of Yoshi's Island. I'm not in the middle of Yoshi's Island. I was in the middle of an island though. Sometimes. There's other times where I would just be out in the ocean. I'd have this much left on my stamina bar. It's like drunk me was just like, oh, well, let's see what Morning Rick thinks of me swimming all the way out here and losing his stamina bar, so he just wakes up and fucking drowns. The memories I have of my late puppy, Sam, would have made the perfect stream mascot if I was streaming at the time, but I wasn't. I kind of got into streaming after he died, because he was my main... That's where all my attention went, and I didn't have that anymore, and I couldn't really get another pet with where I was at in life, so that's part of the reason that inspired me to start streaming, other than my love for games and interacting with the people. I don't know if I've ever said that before. I probably have. It's probably been a while. But just sitting there, like, I'm vibing, I'm relaxing, I'm just cruising around on horseback and beating up random things, and he's just sitting there resting his head against my leg. The memories that... And like I said, sometimes it's not just the game itself. It's the game itself alone makes it a top 3 game of all time for me. We got Yoshi's Island too. Holy fuck. We're doing nothing but winning today. That game, the memories I attach to that, the memories with friends, with the pup, with just myself. And there's no other way I would rather end the Switch 1 era than by raving about that game as much as I just did, because the game itself means so much to me for countless reasons. And even though it seems a little tired that they're still milking the Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom era, I am so excited for that game to continue getting life on Switch 2. I am so excited for that. Am I gonna play the games in full? We're getting back to discussing the two together now. Tears of the Kingdom, no, it's too recent. I'm gonna go on and experience the new features on my current save file when I transfer it over. Breath of the Wild, I love it so much though, and I want to see... I enjoyed the game as is. I'm not with the game. Like, I put 300 hours into it as it is. If I cared that much about, you know, some lagging and some, you know, 30 FPS, I wouldn't have played it. But I really want to experience this game in its newfound glory now. I want to re-experience it in a way I never had before, and God bless you, Nintendo, for giving me that opportunity. We still may stream a revisit of it, or at least stream some aspects of it. Like I said, main story beats we can do. But we're going to stream some Mario Kart 2, of course. But I love Breath of the Wild, and I want y'all to know how much I love Breath of the Wild. So we'll probably do a revisit of it on stream. I still don't know yet. I'm not sure if it's, like I said, Zelda games, I can kind of only do a first play on stream, because I play the game super slow, and that only makes sense if you're doing a first play. On a revisit, people would find that boring, probably. But it's been so long since I've done the main story. There's a lot I've forgotten about. I don't remember where all the memories are. Damn it. Very good chance I'm gonna revisit that. Because I don't really have anything else to stream from the jump on Switch 2, other than Mario Kart. Come on, baby. First on Yoshi's Island, give me the trifecta! Let's go! We got Calamari Desert. We got Yoshi Valley. Brain fart. And we got this. And I love that they play this music for this. I do. Should we end it on top? I think we'll end it on top. Yeah, that's a good way to end this one. Hold on, we gotta let them know. Gotta let them know. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was my Switch 2 retrospective over the course of 2 hours and 15 minutes on the dot. How about that? I could talk about anything for 2 hours, if it's related to Nintendo or gaming. Or pinball. Pinball I can do too. Beyond that, there's not much I could talk about beyond 5 minutes. But man, what a special era. It didn't even just bring Nintendo back, it propelled them to new heights that they had never even come close to seeing before. So shout out to the Switch for bringing a company, and are they perfect? No. But a company that essentially... There are a lot of things I could say this about in life, but in terms of, other than family and friends, of course, Nintendo has shaped me as a person more than anything else. Like, that's what I spent the majority of my younger days doing. That's just all there is to it. And even when I wasn't doing those things, when I was in that phase, I was thinking about those things. I always thought it was just nostalgia, like you had to move on, but no. I'm just a retro gamer at heart. That's all there is to it. And this game, obviously these aren't retro games, they're new, modern games, but they had that retro feel to them too. There was something about it, like... Maybe it was the fact that they weren't super high graphics. Maybe that was it. Other reasons too, of course. A lot of them that I mentioned were remakes too. You know, how many of my top 10 were remakes? 1, 2, 3, 4? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay. Sometimes that's how it works. We enjoy what we enjoy, right? We enjoy what we enjoy. Yeah, again, Tears of the Kingdom means a lot to me, but Breath of the Wild, there's so many, it's like, it's like my thoughts on some other games, like the memories of other game, like the games from your childhood. Like that's, I have so many memories of my young adult life attached to that game, and just levels of happiness attached to that game. And again, I'm so happy to probably re-experience that. Even if I don't stream it, you better believe I am going to re-experience it on the Switch 2 myself. You know it's going to happen. I'm a big replayer of games. So, it's going to happen. On that note, though, let's finish with something a little unique here, shall we? Shout out to NSO too, just in general as a concept. I love being able to carry these games around with me, especially N64. To make sure I didn't forget anything in terms of the games I bought online. I barely played this, never played these, but they were each like $3 at one point. These are all demos that I've played at one point. Never played that. This game sucks. I don't even own it. That was just somebody that played it on mine. Among Us. I do want to give a special shout out to this game. This game, there was like a 2-week hype cycle where I fucking loved this game. And of course it's no longer exists really. I don't even think you can boot it up. I mean, you can, it's a single player, I guess. It appears you can. Go figure. But you can't go online with it anymore. It just didn't catch on with people like Tetris 99 did. But I love Pac-Man. And you know, what does it say? What? Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you for your continued interest. Maybe if I do that enough, it'll bring it back. I mean, as you can see, I played it a little bit, but, you know. Yeah, it's, I want to give a special shout out to it, because that hype cycle there, I love Pac-Man. Like, I love retro arcade games. Like, I was so excited for that to get the Tetris 99 treatment, where it would, and it just didn't happen. What else was here? What else gets a shout out? Super Mario Bros. 35, rest in peace. Bring back something like it. It was super fun. There was no reason for that. I guess shout out to First Kick, too. Why not? I started out streaming this game a little bit. Forgot about that one for almost... I forget I even own it, usually. Fun game, never finished it. I hate Pokemon Unite. That was reluctant Pokemon player, once again. How could I forget? It's not a, you know, it's not a Nintendo game. It's not a Switch exclusive, but man, this game, God, that was the first playthrough on stream that I thoroughly enjoyed. That was before I was recording my stuff, but man, oh my goodness, the music, the gameplay, everything. That could be up there in the top of the list, towards the top of the list. Hollow Knight is a masterpiece. I'm glad I'm going through this now because I forgot about that. Shout out to YouTube for existing, I guess. I think that's it. I think I covered everything else. Yeah, I have covered everything else. Animal Crossing was download. Oh, Pokemon Quest. Shout out to this game, I guess. It was like a random arcade. You know, it's super simple. But like, I played as a ton, as you can see. It's my third most played game. I have this sorted by time played. A lot of games up here that I don't like. Like this one. And this one. And I guess kind of that one. But yeah, that was at a time where I was working meaningless Saturday hours, and there was just nothing to do. I'll say it, I was playing it at work. And for some reason, I had an attachment to this game. I would wake up early, and I would play this before work during the weekdays, too. It's just, you know, game got a lot of hours that way. But that is it. That is our Switch 1 retrospective. This might look silly in a couple days if I end up having to stream a Switch 1 games this weekend due to not having my Switch 2 yet. I certainly hope that doesn't happen. I have a feeling it won't. I feel like if there was a delay or something by now, I would have been notified. My friend's pretty good with that. He's been good with it. So At this point, if I don't have this console, I might not get it Thursday, or at least if I get it Thursday, I probably won't have it set up because I'll be home late. I should have this console set up by Friday. We may, if I get it, of course, we need to make sure there's no delays. Because I got to drive 45 minutes up the road to get it too. Yeah, so yeah, well, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so if we have it and everything, the setup goes smoothly, and I still have some energy on Friday, I'd like to pop on for something spontaneous on Friday, but I won't announce that. It'll just kind of happen. Saturday, we have the stream locked in for our usual 1 p.m. right now. And as long as I have my... We're going to stream that at that time that day regardless, even if we don't have our Switch 2 by then. But in a perfect world, we have it, and Shy Guy Saturday, Mario Kart World. And I fully plan on streaming Sunday as well. If I have it. Probably in the afternoon. Late morning, early afternoon will start, probably. Now, we might even pop on for some spontaneous evening streams those days. We might double up one day. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited. Hopefully I have it. Everything appears to be going well so far, despite Walmart being an absolute shit show. But we're almost there, folks. So no stream Thursday this week. I have that day reserved for hopefully getting my Switch 2. If I don't, then I guess we just lose a streaming day. But I also made plans that day to play pinball. It's the off season because I have to go up that way anyway. So, you know, I'll make a day out of it. And again, I'll make it up to y'all on Friday or Sunday if I end up just not getting the Switch 2. I'm good like that. Anyway, y'all are great. Shout out to Cess for stopping by. Saw some other people popping in as well. Shout out to anyone who listened to my mindless rambling at any point. That's what I do best, especially when it comes to video games. So, I'm going to go get some shut-eye. Hopefully the next time I see you, it will be on a Nintendo Switch 2. Peace out, my friends.